Hey everybody, I'm Julie Matheny, speech pathologist and board certified lactation consultant. I often hear people using nipple shields say, why aren't there colored nipple shields? Well, there actually are. So we're going to talk a little bit about the two companies that I'm aware of that actually make colored nipple shields. So this is your standard Medela 24 millimeter nipple shield that you might have gotten in the hospital when your baby was born. It's a cone shape. It has 4 holes on top of a pretty good size, and it's clear, it's see-through. The advantage of a see-through nipple shield is you can see where your nipple is, and you can see if your nipple happens to be changing colors, if it isn't placed correctly, if it's being pinched or compressed. I do like a see-through nipple shield because you can see it, what your nipple is doing when you're actually using. But I can tell you, I used a nipple shield for 5 or 6 weeks with my first. And I can tell you what, it was so frustrating at 2 a.m. trying to find these darn things because you can't see them. They would get lost in the bed sheets. They would get lost in the sink or on the drying rack. And when you're going to feed your baby, it can be terrifying to try to find this dumb thing, right? Because it's clear. But this is the original nipple shield, right? This is what most of us will think of when we talk nipple shields. Now, the first company that I'm aware of that made colored nipple shields was Ceres Chill, the same company that makes that amazing breast milk storage to keep your milk cold. So these are actually color changing nipple shields. They start colored, and as your baby sucks, the warmth of their mouth actually changes this to more of a clear color, so you can kind of see through it. They have a 27, a 24, and a 17 in their sizing. And these are cone-shaped shields. When you compare it to the Medela, they're really almost identical other than the color. The holes on the Ceres Chill are much smaller. There's 4 holes. So this would slow milk down compared to the original Medela. But when you actually feel them, they're almost the same thickness. The Medela's just a little smoother, and the Ceres Chill has just a little bit more texture. But this part back here is a little softer, more flimsy. The Medela has the same silicone pretty much throughout. This is a little softer, more flexible than the actual cone. But this one has nose holes or skin breaks so that the baby can actually smell the breast through these little holes in the shield. And the orientation wouldn't matter. You can put this in any direction around the round areola, whereas Medela's has this nose cut out where baby's nose would be touching skin to skin. So some subtle differences there. Now, this is the new LeLoLo, L-E-L-O-L-O, LeLoLo, and these are more of a skin tone. And they have in 24, 20, and 16. So different sizings in the colors for nipple shields. This one, they have kind of a flower petal design on that. These actually have quite large holes. So when you compare these holes to the Medela shield, they're almost identical, but they are bigger in the holes than the Ceres Chill. So these shields will allow a faster flow or a comparable flow to your old school Medela shields. These ones also have that little nose break for the baby. This is their 24, and it's just a little bit skinnier through the entire cone shape. But the actual length of that shield from tip to base, almost identical to your Medela. And it's, again, very similar to the Ceres Chill. Ceres Chill is just a teeny tiny, itty bitty bitty bit, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters shorter from base to tip. Now, the cool thing about the LeLoLos is they actually make stickers that are the same shape. So if you've ever had that, my baby kicks off the nipple shield, it doesn't stick on, I'm struggling with getting it to stay in place, the LeLoLo makes these stickers that you can actually put on first and then be able to put that on top. And then these also, again, have these different colors to them to be able to find them. This one is the most opaque. This is the 20 millimeter, meaning you can see through this to see if the nipple's being pinched. You would not be able to see a color change if your nipple's blanching. This one, the 16, is very opaque. You're not going to be able to see through that for correct nipple placement if your nipple's slightly off from that. So these are some of those different options. Now, just a reminder, you don't want to be putting these on like a Band-Aid. Because your baby, if your nipple's shorter and your nipple only comes a little way in, your baby, when they're latching, can actually be biting the tip of your nipple through the shield. So when you're doing proper placement, you want to take your nipple and perk it out as much as possible first. Take whatever shield you're going to use and flip it like a cup. Okay, so do you see how I made a little crater? We're going to get that nipple in as deep as possible and then stretch it on so that your nipple's as far into that shield as you can, and then smoothing that shield to get a deep latch. If you can get your nipple at least half, if not 3/4 of the way into that shield, your baby can then breastfeed through the nipple shield. We don't want them nipple feeding through the nipple shield because that can cause pain and damage through the shield, and it can still make milk transfer much less effective because they're not actually stimulating the breast. Okay, so those are your updated, new, look at all these fun colors of different nipple shields on the market that are colored. Are these needed? Not necessarily, but they can be really great if you used a nipple shield in the past and the clear one is triggering to you. You want something different. You need a shield this time around and you want something completely different. You might just want it because it's a fun color. Maybe you don't like losing them in the middle of the night and you want something quick and easy to grab. If you are using a nipple shield more than a couple days, please do make sure you're working with an IBCLC lactation consultant to figure out why. We want to make sure that baby is effectively feeding. Usually shields are a temporary strategy while we're addressing tongue tie. We're letting swelling go down from labor and delivery. We might use them long term for a flat or inverted nipple, but it is called breast or chest feeding and not nipple feeding because an efficient baby with good mouth skills can latch to anything. So if you are struggling with getting baby to latch at the breast, if you're using a shield and struggling to wean with it, please do make sure that you're reaching out so we can help you reach your goals. I am available for in-person and virtual consultations, and if you have a PPO insurance plan here in the United States, that consultation could be free for you. So that's my update on all of the latest colored nipple shield technology. Now you know.